How collaborative are your WebEx meetings? If they're not better than face-to-face, then it is urgent to improve collaboration quality. You never want to send out a WebEx invitation and then have your WebEx meeting look like the screen in front of you. This is not a collaborative meeting. This is a conference call. It's important to know that when you are in a WebEx meeting, that you want to be using all the collaborative features, the video, the chat, whiteboarding annotations, and the use of pointers and other kind of tools to get your team to tangibly interact with each other on the screen that is in front of you and everyone else. Why is this so important? Well, the answer is clear. The better your team collaborates, the better the results are going to be of your team. In this research, they looked at teams that collaborated poorly versus those that collaborated at the highest levels. Look at the impact on all 5 of these categories. You just can't lose when you improve the collaboration quality in your team. Remember, in WebEx Meeting Center, there are over 50 ways to interact, particularly the 2 columns that are on the right. These are the tools that make collaboration wonderful for virtual teams. So how do you go about raising that level of collaboration? First is you've got to make a commitment to collaborate more. If your team meets 60 minutes a week, then that means they are spending 97.5% of their time just communicating on email and some other technology. Meetings are the only time your team has to interact like a real team. They can interact at the highest levels. So you've got to capitalize on that, and you as a facilitator have to make the commitment to make that happen. Secondly, you need to make a commitment. How much of the meeting time will you allow for team collaboration, like on the whiteboard you saw a few moments ago? Schedule at least 80 to 100% of that meeting time to solve problems and work issues together and create commitments. This is what is going to build your team, and this is what's going to build your team productivity. If you look at your team meeting and you're spending all of your time watching a presentation, that's a mistake. You want to go back and look at all these other issues and spend your time creating solutions together and solving problems and making commitments to each other. That is how you can improve results with your virtual team. So what can you do to improve collaboration in your virtual team? First is you got to make the commitment. 80% of the time, at least, will be active collaboration. That means your team is going to be actively keyboarding, mousing, and talking with one another as they interact and speed up the interaction with WebEx. Second, you want to get your team to collaborate about what are the highest value ways that we can collaborate. What are the topics we want to talk about? What are the things we need to do when we're in our meeting together that add the highest value to you in your remote setting? And what are the things that are the lowest as well? We want to have that contrast. Get the team to brainstorm it and refine the list so you have a top 5 in each category. Then item 3. You want to also get the team to agree on high value and low value information topics. Every team meeting is going to have some information sharing, but a lot of it can be done in email, and we should not waste meeting time on them. So get your team to talk about that. What is information that they want to hear from you that is going to allow them to do their job better? You want to create the high value and the low value information topics. The 4th item is once you've created these lists and you have the tangible buy-in, then you want to post that list on SharePoint and follow it as you go through your meetings. You might revisit it after 3 months or after 6 months and make sure that it still works for the team. But if you do this much, you're going to be leagues ahead of everyone else. This is Jacqueline Kostner, the Webinar Guru, signing off.